Hi, I'm 𝘃𝗶𝗱𝗏. Welcome to the 𝘊𝗍𝗏 Life. What is the 𝘊𝗍𝗏 Life? So, I recently turned 44 on October 27th, and I had this inspired idea to create a new podcast, a new YouTube channel. I used to have a podcast called the 𝘃𝗶𝗃 Chronicles, and I still have a written blog that I send on MailChimp to a couple of hundred subscribers where I just, over the last couple of years, almost actually a decade. So I started when I used to run my food business, 𝘃𝗶𝗃 Kitchen, and then it kind of pivoted to become the 𝘃𝗶𝗃 Chronicles, and now I'm reinventing myself again as the 𝘊𝗍𝗏 Life. And so I had this inspired idea and the name for the 𝘊𝗍𝗏 Life probably about a year ago or earlier this year. I can't remember exactly when. And for me, it was the fact that I knew I was about to turn 44, and I knew 44 was going to be a pivotal year for me because I was finally going to have freedom in the sense that my daughter, yes, I have a daughter who is now a university student. She just started university in September. And so I finally had what I felt was freedom to do me, freedom to be able to travel more, to be able to, go on a sabbatical, to be able to move to Africa, to be able to do a lot of things. So this summer, I also had a very, very interesting 2025. In fact, my 2025 continues to be extremely interesting. My friends often tell me that I have a Netflix life because the things that happen to me generally, I just genuinely feel like my life is like a Netflix series. So the main achievements that I wanted to highlight for myself in terms of this year was I started 2025 wanting to achieve three main goals. The first one was to run my first marathon, which I did in April, here in London, my hometown. So that was such an amazing experience. The training to a marathon, that's a whole other podcast episode, YouTube episode in itself. The second one was I wanted to donate my kidney. This is a journey that I've been on for a couple of years, and again, that accumulated on July 18th, me becoming the first non-directed autistic black donor in the whole of the United Kingdom to donate her kidney. And what that means is I donated my kidney to a stranger that I have never seen. I don't know who he or she is, where they live. I don't know anything about the person that got my kidney, but I did that. So, and then the third thing was I wanted to leave the UK. I was like, I need to leave. I need to be in a tropical climate. I'm not made for cold weather. And I was able to do that. In the beginning of October, I moved to Nigeria and I decided I wanted to start a soft sabbatical, which would involve for the first 3 months. Actually, my sabbatical was meant to be for a year, but then my Netflix life happened to me this summer, which I'm going to come back to another time. This is my first video, and I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. It's very, very unfiltered. This is just me. This is who I am. And like I said, the message that I received today was I just need to start, and it doesn't have to be polished. So I'm just free flowing today. And so I started this soft sabbatical with the intention of for the next 3 months, from October to the end of December, to the end of the year, I was just going to be traveling around West Africa, starting off in Nigeria, starting off in Lagos, was going to be in Ghana. I was actually meant to be in Ghana right now. So then, so this summer when I was thinking about this channel and what I wanted to share in terms of like just being visible, I wanted to launch on the 1st of November. So that was my intention. My birthday was October 27th. I was like, okay, fine, I'll launch November 1st, did my photo shoots. I'm like, started doing my content. And then I lost my mom on November 2nd. And so today, like I said, I spent some time with my sister, and that was really, really nice because me and my sister, we've not really been spending as much time with each other over the last couple of years. So that was really, really lovely. And on my way home, I was listening to this podcast, and the message that I got was I just need to create this channel, and I just need to create my first video and invite you all to come along with me into this journey. So, what is the photo? Actually, let me introduce myself properly because I've talked for like 4 minutes and you guys don't know who exactly I am. So, as I mentioned, I am 𝘃𝗶𝗃. I am a UK qualified social worker. I am an accredited personal stylist. I am a chef, a curator, an events manager, a UN speaker. Yes, I did that. I did that this year. And yeah, I'm just a dynamic character, and I am somebody who, over the last couple of years, I'm really stepping into my power and fully understanding that I have a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge, a lot of information that I've gathered from my various different roles and from the 44 years that I've spent in this life. And I have so much gift to share to the world, especially to women who want to learn to be unapologetic, who want to learn how to reinvent themselves, who want to learn how to pivot when life, like I said, 3 weeks ago, I was in Lagos. I was living my best life. It was my birthday. I was on a date with a very, very extremely handsome Lagos man. And then my mom got admitted into hospital the next day. And then I found myself back in London on Thursday, Monday, 3 weeks ago, Monday, my birthday. Then Tuesday, mom got admitted to hospital. Thursday, I found myself back in London. Sunday, she was dead. By the following Wednesday, we'd buried her. And now, this coming Wednesday, I'm going to be back on the plate because one thing I'm very good at doing is I'm very good at, not to say I'm still not grieving, I'm very much still grieving. In fact, my grief has not even started. Like, I'm still very much in the early stage of processing losing my mom. Like, I feel like I've been just, the emotional whiplash has just been so much. And but one thing I'm very good at is I'm very good at finishing what I set out to do. And when I left the UK in October, my intention was to have a 3 month sabbatical at the minimum. At the bare minimum, I was going to have 3 months of just rest, enjoyment in the sunshine. And just because my mom chose to go 6 feet under, oops, was that too soon, mom? Was that too soon? Just because my mom is dead doesn't mean I'm dead. So I'm going back on my sabbatical. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And my mom would love that for me because my mom would always, always say, only one life to live. Whenever I wanted to do something, my mom was my biggest cheerleader. She was my biggest supporter. At every pivotal moment of my life, my mom's always been there for me. And for me, as far as I'm concerned, even though physically she's no longer here with me, she will always, always be there with me. So I'm carrying her along into this 40 more life. And so yeah, so that's who I am. And like I said, the my intention with the 40 more life is I want to create a community. I want to create a community where other like-minded women, women not just in their 40s, but women who are, about to be 30, who are about to be 40, maybe even in your early 20s, and maybe even women in your 50s, in your 60s, but you know who you are. You are an unapologetic woman. I'm going to share this free flow writing that I did when I journaled yesterday morning. And this is very unusual for me because normally when I journal, it's mostly about what happened in my life. So I wrote this at 9:15 a.m. on Sunday, 16th of November, 2025. My purpose is to help awaken the unapologetic woman in you, the woman who does not seek approval from anyone. The unapologetic woman moves in the world with unbridled confidence in herself, her knowledge, and the assurance of seeking to be more. The unapologetic woman can discern for herself, though she knows when and where to seek wise counsel to help show up the gaps in her knowledge. The unapologetic woman is kind, but she is not a pushover. She is soft, but with an inner stillness that even iron couldn't bend. The unapologetic woman laughs with a reckless abandonment because she is fully immersed in that very moment. The unapologetic woman dances like nobody's watching because she knows and feels it within her bones that the dance floor is where she comes alive the most. She is of service to others and her community, but she also knows when she needs pouring into. The unapologetic woman is not afraid to express her deepest wants and desires, even if this leaves her open and vulnerable. She knows life is about the sum combination of risk becoming opportunities realized. The unapologetic woman is me, and I am unapologetically me. So, welcome to the 40 More Life with Talks. Grab your seatbelt on because you are in for quite the ride. I can promise you it is going to be a movie. You are in. Like, welcome. I'm glad to have you.